in the dead angle, doesn't bait it. Gets caught low again, has to burst immediately.
Full meter though, full meter! He's gonna have to do, oh he can't, no burst!
So smart!
Oh my
so
God!
Smart.
Genius!
So smart, he couldn't burst because of the super. But Washiga thinks it's over!
Lock down,
He won the last round! And the Bella doesn't count! He still got 65%!
Oh my God!
Washiga, no!
Washiga, not like this! What are you standing up for?
Your face right now is priceless.
Oh my God!
How can you not make fun of that?
Because what's wrong with them having fun? This is what they're good at. They like it.
Yeah. And then eventually they sit on a couch for months and months. And then we all have to pick up the tab on Obamacare because they never left their house for 17 years.
YouTube launched a new video network yesterday where you can watch other people play video games. For real, the whole network. It's called the We Should All Be Very Ashamed of Ourselves for Failing as Parents channel. Actually, it's called YouTube Gaming.
Esports is probably the #1 growing competitive scene out right now. And more people are watching it every single day. And if it's something that you're interested in, I think you follow along. The commentators are unbelievable.
Today, I want to explore the growing esports industry. From professional organizations to local colleges, esports has become a source of fun and fame for many. But first, let's talk about how we got here.
In 1999, there was a race, there was a quest for what they called the holy grail of video games. Whoever could do a perfect game on Pac-Man.
Well, yeah, so I mean, the first tournaments started happening as soon as the first video games started happening. Well, maybe not quite as soon, but shortly thereafter. And it's just like anytime you have a game, people want to compete to be the best in it. It's just a natural drive in the human race, you know, like even something as simple as tag, you know, people have now taken, there's professional tag, if you can, you know, it's the exact same thing. We just have a drive to compete.
Now you may be asking yourself, well, what is esports? It's the competitive playing of video games, organized into leagues or tournaments where individuals or teams face off for prizes, prestige, or entertainment.
The popularity of esports really started exploding domestically, starting kind of in the early 2000s, but it didn't really start hitting its peak until like the 2016, 2018, in that general like time period.
How can you not make fun of that?
Because
that same year, Fox Sports host Colin Cowherd took aim at esports when he called competitive gaming a worthless sport. His comments reflected a common view of the esports industry at that time.
The difference between esports and traditional sports is that traditional sports are a physically based game. Like it's all about your physicality, your athleticism, and that's really cool to watch. Whereas esports is a game based on your intellect, like almost exclusively. Right, you have to be thinking at an absolutely impossible speeds, you know, to play at the highest level of competition.
In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic swept through the world. As people stayed home, they looked for entertainment. This created a boom for the esports industry. This boom led to viewership swelling to 589 million unique viewers for the year.
You can compete in esports from anywhere in the world with anybody anywhere in the world, you know, barring latency issues. And that's kind of what really did it for esports. Everybody else had to quit their season. They weren't allowed to, you know, play, or they had to have, you know, strict measures on, you know, so there were fewer matches played and there was just lower viewership overall because there was less happening for them. Whereas in esports, we didn't slow down. We didn't miss a beat.
As of 2023, more than 450 college campuses have varsity recognized esports teams. With this growth, more money is being invested at lower levels of competition. This interest has helped drive the creation of varsity esports teams at colleges in the 4 states area: Pitt State, Missouri Southern, the University of Arkansas Fort Smith, Central Oklahoma and others have seen support from school administration and the public for this new form of sports competition.
Well, at the collegiate level, esports is viewed as a very effective tool for recruitment and retention. It's been proven time and time again in multiple studies. 90% of high school students call themselves gamers now. That number it's astounding for one. The thing about esports, it has such a wide appeal because everybody can participate in it. Everybody. It doesn't take into account your gender, your size, your strength, your speed. Like, anybody can play, and so it has this very, very wide range of appeal.
A major driving factor for esports growth industry-wide is the use of live broadcasting for matches. Organizations are able to advertise their events online to attract viewers and sponsors. And, at the collegiate level, it provides valuable experience for student broadcasters.
Start out my freshman year, I got to do pretty much all the games for Overwatch, and I really enjoyed it because Overwatch is a game I played a lot, and it was really fun to watch the Pitt State players kind of get better every single week. It's definitely a small program right now, and so they kind of struggle at the start, but they've improved over the last 2 years that I've been able to do it, and it's been fun to see.
In 2022, Pittsburgh State University established a varsity recognized esports program. This program has grown from 2 teams to 5 and seen the creation of an esports lounge for students to practice in.
We started out initially just with a League of Legends and Rocket League team. In that first year, that's all we had. Then the second year, we added Valorant, Overwatch, and Super Smash Bros. And now this being, I think, our third year now, is where we're starting to get more serious about the future of esports at Pitt State.
It's been really awesome to see how much it's been growing and how much people are wanting to help out in the scene. And in general, it's fun to see how many people are wanting to join the teams and help out with productions and stuff, and it's just amazing to see it grow like that.
Varsity programs on college campuses have seen growth through the creation of conferences and independent organizations so schools in the same region can compete against each other.
MIAA universities thought, you know what, we don't really care to be competing against Florida and Texas and Wisconsin and California. It doesn't mean a whole lot if we beat those teams or lose to those teams, right? We want to be competing against Fort Hays and Emporia and Northwest and Missouri Western, And so a couple of those coordinators got together and they said, hey, we would like to create a conference for us. And so they reached out to all of the esports coordinators from all of the, associated universities. And in that first year, we got together, just all the coordinators volunteering our time, and we put together the conference.
During its second season, Pitt State competed against Missouri Western for the first MCEC Rocket League Championship.
Keeps it up, actually. Missouri Western, a mid-air demo north with a shot on net. Shady keeps it up. Elites to keep the ball alive. The miss. Pitt State victory, and they've won the MSEC Conference Championship 4-1.
Our team really, it was kind of the first introduction to that Rocket League team, and seeing how they played and watching it was just really a great experience, and I was so grateful to help commentate on that.
However, the industry has also showed some signs of decline. A good example of this involves Pittsburgh State University's esports program in the summer of 2024, when their budget was audited by the school administration.
When athletics was doing their cost benefit analysis, they saw that we were spending X amount on esports per student, and that was significantly higher than other areas, and so they elected to cut that. This position was a little unique for me because through my position as the esports coordinator, I was being supplied with the opportunity to get on-campus housing, which I had elected to take, And so I was living in on-campus housing, contingent on my employment. And so, like, not only am I potentially losing my job here, I'm also losing my housing. So as we have established this program and it's, the trajectory is going, and then for it to suddenly just drop out, like, that creates a lot of confusion, and then you don't know about, like, what the future of the program is going to be.
Fortunately, Cozart's position was saved. Esports has fallen back under student life, and he continues to be hopeful for the future of esports at PSU. This situation mirrors other programs who were unable to keep funding for their teams. In 2024, the University of Arizona and St. Louis University cut their esports programs after budget cuts impacted funding. Money problems can also be seen at the professional levels of esports. In January 2020, the Overwatch League was unable to agree on a new contract that would keep its match broadcasts on Twitch. As a result, they signed an agreement with YouTube to have all matches streamed on their platform. This contract was $60 million less than the potential deal with Twitch. This funding drop was felt immediately.
I was not able to speak publicly about OWL while I worked at Twitch for obvious reasons. But you better believe that I was the guy in every fucking meeting going, this is stupid and you're all stupid. It did not feel good. I'll tell you why it didn't feel good. Because that league cost a lot of fucking money, and a year later, 11 of my fucking staff was laid off.
And in October of 2023, the Overwatch League announced that they would be, quote, transitioning from the Overwatch League and evolving competitive Overwatch in a new direction, meaning the league would be dissolved.
The Overwatch League gave orgs the option to vote on whether or not they wanted to continue playing in the current system or cut their losses, take a payout, and withdraw. They all chose the latter.
Pittsburgh State University's esports program has seen growth in the fall 2024 semester with the addition of eNASCAR to its lineup of competitive teams. Despite setbacks, they continue to grow on campus and add more students to their roster.
I would say within the next 5 years, we get a esports arena, either refurbished or manufactured at Pitt State. But yeah, so we'll have an esports arena, and I think we'll start to offer scholarships, and then I think from there, we'll be able to roll into a long-term esports dynasty where we just absolutely crush the competition.
The wider esports industry is expected to continue to grow. Despite fears of a shrink at the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, competitive gaming is expected to reach new heights in the US.
I think as a part of that growth, we're going to see an adaptation of these professional organizations into the systems of the NFL, MLB, and NBA, where you have more localized competition and you have a regional team that you can rally behind, that you can identify with because they're from your area, so you can that's just how it works. Like, you identify with those organizations more.
Game publishers like Riot Games and Epic Games continue to run their respective leagues. From the corporation's perspective, professional esports provides value to the games by serving as an advertisement for their products and by driving viewers to purchase in-game items.
And as far as the future of esports goes and the MCEC conference, I'd like for it to keep going. And I'd like for the other teams at Pitt State to also pick up that mantra, because Rocket League's kind of setting that bar for the other teams, and hopefully the other Overwatch, Valorant, League of Legends can rise up to that bar as well.
Talking about esports in general, it's not really set in stone how it's going to go forward with a lot of titles releasing, and the scene is just ever changing, and support, it comes here and there, so it's sort of a risky business, but at the same time, if you can hold that interest in the viewership and among the games, it could be a thriving industry.
The growth of the esports industry can be seen at all levels of competition. Even with signs of struggle for individual organizations, this blossoming industry is still poised to thrive. From the growth of varsity teams on college campuses to the introduction of new competitive leagues, there are no major signs of decline for competitive gaming.